Back up on CBS Sports HQ, it's that time of year where every action has an equal and opposite. Well, ripple effects felt here out of your Monday nighter as the 49ers get that all-important 8th victory and find themselves on the inside of the wild card picture. Two teams out of the West in the wild card between the Seahawks and the 49ers, giving chase at the top to those Los Angeles Rams. Also impacting the loss column there for the Carolina Panthers, Bryant, McFadden, Emory, Hunt back in to discuss what this Monday nighter meant in the grand scheme of things. Let's start on the good foot here with the 8-4 San Francisco 49ers. Emory, when you look at this team, it has all the hallmarks of playoff football, not just from what we've seen this year, but because of what we understand about the San Francisco 49ers, the standard that they keep. How big of a win was this tonight?
Huge, because you saw the defense start to now believe. So let's say the foundation of the floor for San Francisco has been laid down with cement, because now the guys that are stepping in these roles, the starters on the defensive line, now believe in what they can do. The secondary is healthy, and they're showing they can turn the ball over, but this defensive front are able to get pressure. They're able to frustrate opposing quarterbacks, and you still have a healthy Christian McCaffrey, full strength on offense. So they're playing their best ball at the right time, and it looks like they have a solid foundation to keep someone from jumping in.
Yeah, we've seen those splits many times before, and we saw them pregame. What happens when Brock Purdy, George Kittle, and C-Mac are on the field together? You keep those three healthy, you keep them out there, and Mac, it really does feel like a playoff team, but to what avail? Do you see a team that can, as you like to say, move some furniture around come playoff time?
No, I don't see that, and here's why. Their defense, even though they were outstanding tonight, I think it was more about the team they played than their defense just evolving to be a hellified unit. When you look at the San Francisco 49ers throughout the entire season, they're dead last in the National Football League in sacking the quarterback. So when you're not sacking the quarterback, you're also not providing the necessary pressures to put quarterbacks in uncomfortable situations. The other teams that are currently in the playoffs, they do a better job in putting pressure on opposing quarterbacks. So if you don't put pressure on quarterbacks, you're not going to be in positions to win a lot of games, especially playoff caliber football. And then secondly, for me, their quarterback, Brock Purdy, sometimes gets into these ruts where he has some either completion issues, accuracy issues, and just not there.
Now, just because we're looking at it right now, can the same not be said of those three current quarterbacks in that wild card picture?
Yes.
We've seen the stinker from Sam Darnold. Jordan Love has left something to be desired. Brock Purdy, obviously, tonight, the 3 interceptions. Who can get it sorted?
That's a great question. Keep this graphic up. The difference between the other two teams compared to San Francisco with their quarterback concerns,
defense, pass rush.
Their defense. Yeah. They can rush the passer. They can do so in a multitude of ways, either winning your one-on-one matchups or through blitz concepts. And then you look at the teams in the hunt. Look at the Detroit Lions. Even though their offensive line has been uncanny in terms of being good, like we've seen in years past, we know their offense can do numbers. And their defense is an opportunistic group. And now you can't even overlook the Dallas Cowboys. Because when you look at their defense and how they've come along since making those moves, they've become more of a serviceable unit right now. So I think this is great for us as fans because it's going to come down to the final week in terms of the top seeds and teams that are currently in the hunt.
You start doing the math on it, and it does feel like it's going to be a pair of 11-win wild card teams and then a 10-win team that has some sort of tiebreaker over another 10-win team. We do have all sorts of common opponents and all sorts of head-to-heads yet to come here. The Chicago Bears, it comes to mind, have Green Bay twice, and they finished the season with the Detroit Lions. They also will play the San Francisco 49ers down the stretch. You have a San Francisco 49ers Seattle Seahawks matchup yet to happen. All that to say, Emory, when you start doing the math, it feels like 6-6. This loss for Carolina Monday night, pretty damning.
Yeah, I mean, offensively speaking, the consistency isn't there to take them seriously. We saw that tonight. You know, you had multiple chances to take this game over and really knock out San Francisco. But the problem is you don't have the offensive consistency at wide receiver. The only one that really came out there to play was Rico Dowdle, like on offense. He was the only one that wasn't afraid of the moment, was ready to rise to the occasion on both ends of offense. But the receiving core, we even saw Tedero McMillan drop on a crucial third down. And then we just didn't see the lack of explosiveness and continuity that we saw the week before. And Bryce Young was a little bit skittish. The red zone interception, like I said, 2 of 6 when the blitz. And then at the end of the day, -1 yards passing. So this was a bad loss for them, significantly bad loss for them. But it also hurt everybody else.
Everybody else in the wild
So
card.
this is like now you need. Okay, who do they play? Who do they play? And you have to win out, but you also need other people to lose in front of you.
Well, that's what they do have maybe working for them here, Matt, because as we said, the South is going to get one in, and it's a division champion. Both of those head-to-heads yet to be played between Tampa Bay and Carolina. What do you see when you put those two teams on a football field? I know so much up in the air right now with the quarterback situation for Tampa.
And I'm making this, making this statement under the assumption that Baker is okay to play. I love Tampa. I love Tampa to still win this division because of their playmakers on the offensive side. They have playmakers, and eventually they will get Bucky Irvin back. Like, we've forgotten that Bucky hasn't been playing because he's missed so much time, but yet and still, they've been still a serviceable unit, right? Chris Godwin played against the Rams, and eventually he would be caught up to speed. So they got playmakers, and the quarterback is a playmaker. That's the issue for Carolina, and tonight they don't have playmakers on the offensive side. So when Rico Dowdle is not running for 100+, what are they doing? And outside of Tedero McMillan making plays in the passing game, who else? Who else can you lean on, right? So Carolina, they missed an opportunity. Tampa is applauding because even though Tampa lost, it felt like they won watching Carolina lose. So I still like their chances. It will all play out, but if you had to make a pick for these two teams to win this division, if you're not a Carolina Panther fan, you got to be real with yourself. I think we all would say we expect Tampa to win this division.
And what Tampa does with is the similarities they have with San Francisco. Who is their edge rusher? You don't really know. You know they have Vita Vea, but they apply pressure.
Yeah.
It's
schematically
team pressure.
Through scheme.
It's interesting because they have staring down the barrel at what is the best team in the NFL currently, or at least what we've seen in the recent sample size in the Los Angeles Rams before a bye, and then it's a home stretch. You're going to need just about everything if you're Carolina. Such is the case in each of these wild card situations, both AFC and NFC, and we'll get a cross-conference clash coming up on Thanksgiving night, gentlemen. It's the Cowboys. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. It's CBS in that evening window. It's going to be pure cinema, if you will. Emory Hunt. Everything on the line between these two teams. What do you see when you see this matchup with everything that's going to come out of it?
I see Kansas City has to play their best game because right now the Cowboys have the edge, albeit honestly, at quarterback, running back, receiver, offensive line. In my opinion, their defensive front seven, and that's a lot going for Dallas, and they have positive momentum.
Yes.
And we've seen this team, especially when you add George Pickens, they are not afraid to punch back. And so Kansas City has gotten punched a lot this year. They've been able to sustain themselves, but I just feel like this is more about the Chiefs being ready for what they're going to face in Dallas more so than the other way around.
Mac, how does the stage play into it? Because it's Thanksgiving Day.
Right.
It's the most watched window. It's in Dallas. It's got all the feels that we felt before, but it might feel like even more with the playoff stakes at hand.
No question. That's why this will be the best game to watch in a slate full of entertaining high-level NFL play because of what's at stake in the brands that's associated in this matchup.
America's teams.
Yeah, America's teams, to say the least. America team in the Dallas Cowboys.
Chiefs started in Dallas.
Yeah, and with the Chiefs doing what they have done, playing on Thanksgiving Day, where this feels like a Game 7 scenario, where you lose and you go home because both teams have so much at stake. And both teams they fought from behind this past Sunday, right?
Down
But
11, 9 minutes to go.
no question, right? They both fought from behind, and both quarterbacks have been, great players for their team. But I side with Emory right now. I mean, if you look at what we've seen so far this season, I think Dak Prescott is set up to do to have a really big game and to potentially outperform the great one in Pat Mahomes because of what is surrounding him. And the best thing that I watched with the Dallas Cowboys in that game against Philly, they were down 21-0. Their offense was stagnant. They had some issues. Guess who they relied on to get them out of that rut? Their defense. 24 unanswered points. And all of that became a reality because of their defense, getting the necessary stops. So the confidence that they created against the Raiders is surfaced in the game against the Eagles, and they will take that to this ball game against the Kansas City Chiefs. So this is going to be a star-studded event. Make sure you tune in on CBS. And the thing I love about these games on Thanksgiving, usually you eat dinner around 12. Around that second ball game, it's time to go get some leftovers or some dessert. What better dessert to have and then watching these two great organizations go toe-to-toe in a playoff-like atmosphere.
Those leftovers might serve as the halftime pep talk you need. Reportedly, it was the newest Cowboy offering the pep talk in Quinnen Williams when they were trailing in that game against Philly. 3 techniques going to play a big role, whether it's Chris Jones or Quinnen Williams. We got a plate full of it. Switch the graphic. We want the big fellas. Nah, this is a quarterback's league, and it's a quarterback's game. Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott. It's the Chiefs and the Cowboys on Thanksgiving evening, 4:30 Eastern on CBS, and streaming on Paramount+.